Hi friends, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Today we are talking all about Savannah LaFontaine Greywind. Now, Savannah went missing August 19th, 2017, and she was just 22 years old. And to make matters worse, she disappeared when she was 8 months pregnant. Savannah was a member of the Spirit Lake tribe and she was a Native American woman. So immediately, family and law enforcement are very concerned. They have two people to look out for, both Savannah and her child. Where could she have gone? Now, trigger warning, this case is gruesome in all aspects, so you have been warned. So Savannah had a loving boyfriend, a supportive family, a new career, and a baby on the way. She had so much to look forward to, and she had a life that was worth living. And as I go through these series of events, you will see just how unnecessary all of this was. None of this should have happened. And nothing should have stopped her from living her life. And the sad part is, I hadn't even heard of this case. I didn't see it in the media until I was deep into researching, and I stumbled upon this case, and it just broke my heart. There's so many cases of missing and murdered Native American women that are underreported or just not reported at all. So I really hope that I can make a difference, any difference at all. So if you see me looking down occasionally, I'm just looking at my notes because there is a lot to the story, there's a lot of details, and I just want to get it correct. So August 19th, 2017, Savannah told her mom that she was getting ready to go to her neighbor's house, and they had lived upstairs. She said that the neighbors would like her to try on a dress for them, because they were into sewing and they wanted to hem it. So to me, this kind of sounds strange or very random, but Savannah went along with it and she went to her neighbor's house. Around an hour later, Savannah still would not return home, so her mom texted her and was asking where she was. As more time went by, Savannah's mom told Savannah's brother to go look for her or check on her at the neighbor's house. So he walked upstairs to check on his sister and knocked on the door, but nobody answered. He said he thought he could hear a sewing machine. So finally, Savannah's father went up there to see what was going on, and a woman answered the door. And she said, yeah, Savannah's fine. She's just going to be a little bit longer. We're doing some sewing work with her dress. Around 4:30 in the afternoon, Savannah's mom realized that she still wasn't home. Now, being a little bit concerned because she's been there a couple of hours, she decided to go up there herself because she knew something wasn't right. So her mom went upstairs and a woman answered and said, yeah, Savannah was here, but she already left. She's not here anymore. And also, keep in mind that Savannah was texting her boyfriend and she had just stopped randomly. So she wasn't replying anymore. So that was another red flag. When her mom knew that Savannah wouldn't have just taken off, she was 8 months pregnant, sore, her feet are swollen, she's not in a condition to just up and walk away. So she became worried. Her mom called the police and the police were worried themselves. Again, there's a child involved. The police went to the neighbor's apartment this time and come to find out, a man and a woman answered the door. Police asked if they could come in. The couple said yes, and they searched around. They didn't find anything. So over the next 2 days, the police searched their place 2 more times, but they found nothing. Her family was spreading the word about Savannah. They were talking with friends, Savannah's colleagues, and they just weren't getting anywhere. There was no tips and no evidence. By August 23rd, Savannah was still missing, so her friends and family decided to hold a prayer vigil at Sanford Medical Center in Fargo, North Dakota, her hometown. They were talking about Savannah, they were spreading the word, and there was even a reward for her safe return. The police brought in dogs, the FBI, they seemed to be doing a really good job, and they seemed to be doing everything that they should. So the police decided to search the neighbor's house one more time, and this time they find something. And what they found was shocking. I think they did not expect it. There was a newborn baby girl in their home. And they immediately thought, okay, this has to be Savannah's child. But where is Savannah? So thankfully, the baby was alive and she was okay. She was not sick, so that is some good news. So the neighbors are Brooke Cruz and William Hone. So they were immediately taken into custody and questioned. Forensics searched their apartment and their car for the smallest details. Brooke was 38 and William was 32. Now, Brooke has 4 other children that she has nothing to do with. She is very neglectful and basically just ignores them. And William, equally as crappy, has 2 other children as well, not with Brooke. And so this is interesting. So it was reported that one of William's children actually went to the hospital for reported abuse. There was a fracture in their skull, and the doctors concluded that this type of fracture could only be the result of child abuse. This resulted in William being arrested for child abuse. So it's pretty apparent that this guy is clearly abusive, and Brooke was no angel either. Brooke had a lot of problems. She had a tough childhood. She grew up in multiple foster homes, and she built up a lot of anger and resentment. So she had a history of violence, as did William. There was an instance where she threatened William with a hammer, and their neighbors said that they were often heard screaming, fighting, throwing things, etc. They began dating in 2014, and the relationship was tumultuous, to say the least. One time they had a fight where William threw her into a bathtub, and she pressed charges. He did plead guilty to assault for that. He had a no-contact order with Brooke. However, he broke that, of course. After 6 months, they were in their apartment together, and a neighbor heard an altercation. They heard some violence going on. They called the police, and again, he went to jail for breaking his no-contact order. He pleaded guilty to that. So this guy clearly has a rap sheet, a history of anger and violence, and when you have 2 people like that together, you can only imagine what's going to happen. So on Sunday, August 27th, 2 kayakers in the Red River discovered something gruesome. They found what looked like to be a human body that was wrapped in plastic. Later, the body was identified as Savannah's. This whole thing didn't have to happen. When confronted, Brooke lied through her teeth. She had a very elaborate story. She said she met up with Savannah and showed her how to induce birth, and that 2 days later, Savannah showed up and gave Brooke her baby. When William was questioned, he told the truth. He let it all out, and he told the story of what really happened. He said he came home on August 19th, and he saw Brooke wiping up blood. So instead of, calling the police or asking what happened, he helps her. So they disposed of towels, blood, clothing, evidence, everything. Brooke then brought Savannah's newborn baby to William and said, "This is our baby now. This is our family." Now, mind you, they have 6 children between the 2 of them. 6 children that they neglect and abuse, yet they want somebody else's child. It's beyond frustrating and sad and tragic, and it just makes me so angry. On September 7th, there was a funeral held for Savannah, and many gathered in order to pay their respects. The whole community just came together, and it was actually quite beautiful. There was Native American dancing, singing, and people wore red shirts for Savannah, and in honor of missing or murdered Indigenous women. So full custody of Savannah's child was granted to Savannah's boyfriend. And I can only imagine how hard this was for him, raising a child, without his partner, and I just can't. December 11th, 2017, Brooke Cruz pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and providing false information to police. On February 2nd, Brooke was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So this makes the community feel so much better that she can never get out and never hurt another woman or child ever again. So Brooke, knowing that she was caught, she admitted to everything. She told the truth because, why lie? She said she lured Savannah into her apartment and she essentially cut her child out of her. And it's said that Savannah was still alive while this was happening. William pleaded guilty to kidnapping and providing false information to authorities. On Monday, October 29th, 2018, a judge sentenced William to life in prison with the possibility of parole. William announced he will try to appeal his sentence, of course. So at the end of 2018, a new bill was passed which would improve resources and help for missing and murdered Indigenous women And this bill, however, sadly was halted for whatever reason, and there's a link that I will put below where you can sign in order to get this bill up and going. You know, they need all the signatures that they can get. We need to make sure that this bill is passed and, you know, never forget Savannah and the other thousands of women. This case is so chilling and tragic and unnecessary, you know. I just can't wrap my head around why somebody would steal someone else's child when you have 4 children of your own that you have nothing to do with. It's just so gruesome. So that is it for me, you guys. Thank you for watching. Please be careful out there. Don't go into people's homes unless you really know them or if they're family. And don't be afraid to say no if someone is trying to talk you into doing something that you don't want to do. Just say no, and that's that, you know. Just be careful and cautious, and let's just keep Savannah in our hearts and pray for her family. So thank you guys so much. Please subscribe. It really helps me out. And thank you for watching.